Let's begin directly by building this elegant button inside a function named Modern Button Preview. This function will receive the text to be displayed on the button, as well as the function to be executed when it is pressed, which we will leave empty for now. Now, we add a box that covers the entire screen, with a white background and centered content alignment. And while most people might assume that the next element we add will be the actual button, we will in fact add another box, which will represent the button itself. So pay close attention here. First, we give this inner box 16 dp of internal padding, then we set its width and height, followed by defining its rounded corners with a radius of 14 dp. Second, we draw the outer border with a thickness of 1.4 dp. To make the border colored, we use a brush, applying a soft gradient that includes a light sky blue shade along with a gentle soft lavender tone. This gradient starts and ends at the edges of the box. Finally, we ensure that the border's corner shape matches the corner shape of the box itself. To add colors to the background, we use the Draw Behind function. Inside it, we call drawRect to fill the rectangle with multiple colors. Here, we once again rely on brush.linear gradient, but this time with a higher level of transparency and a smoother blend of aqua blue and lilac mist. We set the gradient to start from the left side toward the center using the aqua tone, and from the opposite side toward the center using the lilac tone. Because both sides fade with some transparency, this creates a soft empty space in the middle, giving the button a clean and modern glow effect. And if we want to add a function to this box, we add clickable, and inside it we place the function we passed at the beginning. After that, we add internal padding, and to center the elements, we include the final component, which is the button text. We use a normal text function and adjust its font size, weight, and color. And now, when we run the code, we get this elegant button.
Now, we will build a modern and smart button that works with a loading state. It changes its appearance from a normal button to a spinning indicator when pressed, then returns to its original form after the process is completed. This idea provides a clear user experience. We simply add this function to loading button, and allow it to receive a text parameter along with a callback function that is executed when the button is pressed. First, we create a state called asLoading, which determines whether the button displays its normal text or shows a loading indicator instead. Then, we use Remember Coroutine scope so we can run a background task when the button is pressed, such as a short delay or fetching data from the internet. As in the previous code, we add a box to represent the background and another one to contain the button's elements. Now we use a very important component in Jetpack Compose. Animated visibility, a built-in function that allows us to show and hide elements with smooth animation instead of an abrupt change. When asLoading equals false, we display the normal button. When asLoading equals true, the button is hidden and the loading box appears instead, with automatic transitions between states. Next, we design the button itself. We give it a fixed height and full width, rounded corners, and a glowing border using linear gradient. Inside the button, we place the text, such as Submit, with a clear and bold font. When the button is pressed, we set asLoading equals true, then launch a coroutine that performs a short delay to simulate a loading process. After the delay, we reset asLoading equals false, and call on complete function if there is an additional action to run afterward. During the loading state, the second part of animated visibility appears. A colored box with an attractive gradient and, at its center, a circular progress indicator to inform the user that the operation is in progress. With this, we get a professional, interactive button that provides a clear user experience, with elegant transitions between its normal and loading states, one of the key details that distinguishes modern application interfaces. Finally, we will build a toggle button with smooth motion effects, similar to the night mode switches used in professional applications. The idea is that, with a single tap, the screen color, background color, button color, and the position of the inner circle all change, accompanied by smooth animations that create a very pleasant experience.
We begin by defining the main state, isOn, which determines whether the button is in the on or OFF mode. This state controls all the colors and animations that follow. First, changing the entire screen background color. Here, we use animate color as state to create a smooth transition between two colors. When is on equals true, the background becomes a light cream. And when is on equals false, it becomes a deep navy tone close to black. The transition takes 600 milliseconds for a soft appearance.
Secondly, add glass-like background behind the button, or glass effect. We also change the blurred layer behind the button using animate color as state. In on mode, white with 20% opacity. And in OFF mode, white with 7% opacity. This layer creates a subtle glass effect between the background and the button. Third, the main button color. Again using animate color as state. On mode, a gentle golden yellow. OFF mode, a dark blue with a grayish touch. Fourth, moving the inner circle. We use animate DP as state to slide the circle smoothly from left to right. In on mode, it moves to 55.dp. And in OFF mode, it returns to 4.dp. This is the key to the smooth motion inside the toggle switch.
Finally, changing the icon. We switch between two icons, a sun icon in on mode and a moon icon in OFF mode. This visual detail makes the toggle state extremely clear to the user. After preparing the states, we build the interface. A large box that fills the screen and adopts the animated background color. On top of it, a blurred layer that adds a glass effect under the button. Then we place the toggle button itself, a rounded rectangle that can be tapped to switch states. Here we add a clickable feature, so pressing the button simply toggles the state between on and off, changing the colors and everything else. Inside the box representing the button, we add the moving circle, which is the most important visual element of the toggle switch. This circle moves horizontally from left to right or vice versa depending on the state. It completely circular. It pure white with slight transparency in the off state and full transparency in the on state. Inside this circle, we add an icon that indicates the state. A picture of the sun when on, to give a sense of light and daytime. A picture of the moon when off, to reflect nighttime and tranquility.
With this simple, yet carefully designed, touch, you achieve a professional visual effect that adds a beautiful feel to your app's interface. Before we wrap up, we'd like to be a little honest with you.
Real life sometimes imposes its own challenges, and Honest doesn't always have enough time to work on videos at the pace he would like.
But despite that, he is doing his best to deliver the highest quality possible, step by step, without rushing or compromising the content.
And the best part? Very soon, we'll be trying new ideas, different experiments, and developing the content even further.
Thank you to everyone who continues to support us, stays patient, and believes in the journey.
Of course, all of today's codes are available for free in our Patreon store. The code link is in the description. If today's episode helped you even a little,
then hit like. Leave a comment. Let us know you're learning. Next time, we will level up.